Okay, so today I'm going to talk about how to create polygons and how to actually start mapping in ArcMap. So here's my data set. This is a slope map. This is actually Mount Hood right here. And the area that I'm going to be mapping is just right in here. So just wanted to show you kind of a general what the landscape looks like. You can see this is the high Mount Hood, very steep. And you can see here, this is the White River. And you can see that it's very shallow. And so I'm going to be mapping the White River. So this is going to be QAL, Quaternary Alluvium. So I've done some mapping already, and so this is what I've got done so far. TRBG1, this is the bedrock, and you can see it forms very steep slopes. So I'll be finishing some of this, and then I'll be adding, this is all QAL here. So I'll be adding QAL to that, and I'll show you how I go about doing that. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have your editor toolbar. And if you don't have this editor here, you want to go to Customize Toolbars and click Editor, and it'll pop up, and I like to dock it on my toolbar here. I need to add a QAL shapefile. So I'm going to go to my catalog, and in my shapefile folder, I'm going to right click, New Shapefile, and I'm going to call it WRQAL, and I want this to be a polygon. I don't worry about any of this stuff. Click OK, and you can see it added QAL here. So now I'm just going to change the color slightly. So I go to Properties, traditionally QAL is going to be yellow. So I will make it yellow, a nice yellow. I like to have an outline. And then I want it to be transparent. So I'm going to make it 60% transparent. Click Apply. Okay. You can see QAL is here. It's being shown. So now we're ready to start editing. So we go to Editor, Start Editing, and we want to find our QAL. Click OK. Click Continue. You click on QAL here on the right. You click Polygon. And I'm just going to go ahead and start mapping out where I think the contact between QAL and this bedrock is. So I know all of this is QAL. Okay. And so if we zoom in, okay, so that's QAL. Let's see. So if we have a lot of this to do, so I just usually do chunks of it at a time. So I'll zoom in here, QAL, polygon, and I'll just start drawing QAL in. So notice how I do this. I just allow for overlap to be there. And you'll notice if every time you draw a polygon, you want to save it. So you do save edits. And this will make sure your polygon saves. So pretty much after every polygon that I draw, I save it. It's pretty tedious, but it's quicker in the long run. And then so if we stop editing, you can see here I have my QAL polygon drawn, but there's it's two different polygons, it's not one. So what you do is you can start editing, or you can stay editing. So what I do is you click on one, and you want to use this arrow here, this edit tool. So you click on this one, you click shift on your keyboard, you click this one, and you merge them together. Where's merge? Start editing. Oh, you want to edit your QAL. You want to make sure you start with this one, so it'll pop up here. QAL, and you click your editor pointer, click that one, click this one, hold shift down, and merge them. Done. Boom. So that way you can just do a bunch of little polygons and merge them all together. So here I'll show you how. I'm just going to add a little bit more of this TRBG. This is the bedrock, the steep slope. So all this is TRBG. It's all this stuff in between here. So I'm going to click on TRBG, click my polygon, and I'm just going to kind of follow this contact here. And I start with kind of rough mapping at first, and then I refine it from there. So I'm just kind of getting a general map going here. There we go. You double click to end your polygon. And so that's selected. I'll click this arrow, shift, and I'll merge them together. Click OK. And then I want to save my edits. Okay. And then I'm going to stop editing just so we can, I want to point out a few things. So notice here, there's a space between some polygons, and there's a little bit of a space here. And to get rid of that, we're going to use the integrate tool. So you search integrate, and I'm just going to put all of these shape files in there. And sometimes I think it just kind of works better if you're not editing during this stage, but I think you can do it while you're editing. I just want to stress the fact that it is important to save your edits often, because ArcMap crashes a lot, and you don't want to have all of your work be deleted. So here at integrate tool, you input features. So I want to put my QAL, which is this yellow. I want to put my TRBG1, which is this brown. And I also want to put my QGET1, which is this kind of turquoise color. And so I want you guys to focus on these areas here. What the integrate tool is going to do, it's going to snap all these together and make just one smooth line between these rock units. So your XY tolerance, I usually do like, I mean, it depends. You can do 5, you can do 10, you can do 20. I'm going to do 10 just because I want all of them to be snapped together. And the tolerance is basically just the distance between these two lines. So anything more than 10 feet, it's not going to snap them. So we'll see what it does. So I click 10 and I'm going to click OK. And so to view, so you can see stuff's going on. Sometimes it takes a really long time. So what I do is I go to geoprocessing results, and it'll bring up this window. You go to current session, and you can see integrate. So it's actually working. It's integrating these polygons together. So right now, when ArcMap does this type of stuff, I just don't even touch anything. My hands are completely off the keyboard, completely off the mouse. And you can see the integrate tool worked. It gave me this nice little check mark, complete. And you can see here that there are no spaces between these polygons. So the tool worked pretty well. 10 feet seemed like it did a good job. And I'll turn my slope back on. I've got my contours there. Put a hill shade, and you can see it's starting to look like a geologic map. So obviously I have a lot more to do, but that's just kind of the basics, how to get your shapefiles snapped together nicely, and just kind of what I do. I'm sure there's a bunch of different ways how to map, but this seems to work well for me.